Who am I really? Welcome to our video podcast. Discover your true identity. The question of our own identity concerns us all at some point in our lives. Who am I really? A simple question, but finding the answer to it can be anything but easy. There are many factors that influence our identity, from our values and strengths to our weaknesses and the environment in which we live. If you want to embark on a journey of self-discovery, you must invest time and be willing to ask questions, not just of yourself, but of people in your life who are important to you. It is important to understand why it is so important to know your true identity. Only if you know who you really are and what kind of life you want to lead can you achieve your goals and live authentically. And the game about your true identity is not a solo game. To find answers to these questions, you should exchange ideas with others and benefit from their input. Why is it important to know your true identity? A central question that accompanies us in life is, who am I really? The answer to this question can help us recognize our strengths and weaknesses and better understand our values and goals. It is important that we take time to get to know ourselves and find our true identity, because this is the only way we can lead a fulfilled life and live in harmony with our needs. If you are wondering why it is so important to know your true identity, then you should know. Having a clear idea of your personality will help you make better decisions about your life. It will be easier for you to find out what is good for you and what is not, whether that is in your professional or personal life. It will also be easier for you to choose people in your environment who are good for you, or simply to let go if they are no longer good for you. What influences our identity? What influences our identity? A question that many people ask themselves when they are looking for their true identity. There is no easy answer to this, as our identity is influenced by many factors. Our values and beliefs play an important role in shaping our lives and personalities. The social environment can also have a big influence on us, both positive and negative. If you want to find your true identity, it is important that you take time to get to know yourself. Reflect on your strengths and weaknesses and ask yourself what kind of life you really want to lead. Self-discovery can be a game, but it is also a serious endeavor for every person. If you want to know who you really are and what is important to you in life, you have to be willing to be honest with yourself. With honest self-reflection, we can learn to better use our strengths and work on our weaknesses. In short, we have to become aware of who we really are in order to live happily. Self-reflection is the key to discovering your true identity. Self-reflection is a game that every person should play when they really ask themselves, who am I? There is no easy answer to this question. But through self-reflection, you can better understand who you are and what is important to you in life. The time you invest in self-discovery will pay off in the long run. If you know your strengths and weaknesses and can define your values, you will have a clear idea of what goals in life are important to you. It is important to emphasize that self-reflection is not about being perfect or knowing everything about yourself. Instead, it's about the process of getting to know your true identity better and how to live in harmony with that identity. So if you really want to find out, who am I? Then start your own process of self-reflection now. It's not about being perfect or having all the answers at once. Self-discovery is a game of life and a process of continuous discovery. However, if you ask the questions and strive to find honest answers to them, you will be better able to find the person you really are. It can be easy to lose track of your true identity in a world full of masks and facades. But if you have the will and are willing to invest time in finding your true identity, you will be rewarded in the end, with a better understanding of yourself and life itself. By learning who you really are and what you are for a life you want to lead, it will be easier for you to accept or reject people around you who do not match your expectations. This will ultimately lead to you being happier in life by remaining authentic. Everyone has their own unique journey and story. By cultivating acceptance of your own experiences, you will be able to better find your true identity. Once you have found your true identity, it is also important to accept it and express it authentically in your life. That doesn't always mean being easy, but when you live your true self, you will experience more satisfaction in life. The importance of being authentic in a world full of masks and facades. In the age of social media and constant comparison, it's easy to wrap ourselves in a facade and succumb to the pressure to look or be perfect. But who am I really? Every person asks themselves this question at least once in their life. Anyone who has found their true identity lives a fulfilled life in harmony with their innermost beliefs and values, free of masks and facades. How can I find out who I am? There are different ways to find out who you are. One option is to observe and reflect on yourself. You can ask yourself what is important to you in life. what values you have, and what goals you pursue. Another option is to get feedback from other people. Friends or family can help you point out certain character traits or behaviors. It can also be helpful to explore different topics and find out what particularly interests you. This not only helps you learn more about yourself, but also about your interests and passions. Another option is to face new challenges and step out of your comfort zone. New experiences can help you develop your own personality and discover new sides of yourself. Overall, there are many ways to find out who you are. However, it requires time and reflection, as well as the courage to gain new experiences and step out of your comfort zone. Who am I to answer philosophically? The question, who am I, is one of the most fundamental questions a person can ask themselves. Philosophically, there are different approaches to answering this question. One approach is the existentialist approach, which emphasizes that every person is free and must decide for themselves who they want to be. According to this philosophy, there is no predetermined identity, and each person must create their own identity. Another approach is the essentialist approach, which assumes that every person has a certain essence or nature. This essence defines a person's identity and cannot be changed. A third approach is the constructivist approach, which emphasizes that a person's identity is constructed through social interactions and cultural influences. According to this philosophy, every person has multiple identities depending on the context in which they find themselves. Overall, there are different philosophical answers to the question, who am I? Each approach has its own advantages and disadvantages, and it is up to each individual to decide which approach they find most suitable. Who am I? And this is what psychology says. Psychology has been concerned with this question for a long time. The answer is complex and multifaceted, as there are many factors that influence our identity. One of the most important factors is our personality. Personality is the way we think, feel, and act. It is shaped by a variety of factors, such as our genes, our experiences, and our social environment. Another important factor is our self-concept. Self-concept refers to the beliefs and attitudes we have about ourselves. It encompasses our knowledge of who we are, what we can do, and what is important to us. Our culture also plays an important role in forming our identity. Our cultural beliefs and values influence not only our self-concept, but also our relationships with other people. Finally, the concept of self can also be viewed as a social construct. This means that our understanding of ourselves is shaped by our social context, by the people around us, and by the communities to which we belong. To summarize, who am I from a psychological perspective? I am a complex combination of personality, self-concept, cultural background, and social context. What defines you as a person? As a human being, I am a complex being made up of different aspects. First of all, my personality defines me. I have a certain way of thinking, acting, and dealing with other people. My experiences have shaped my personality and made me who I am today. Another important aspect that defines me as a person is my body. It enables me to perceive the world around me and act in it. My body also influences the way I think and act. Physical sensations can influence my mood, for example. As a person, I also have a social component. I interact with other people and help build or break relationships. My ability to empathize allows me to understand the feelings of others and respond appropriately. Lastly, you can say that my dreams, wishes, and goals as a human being are also part of me. They motivate me to tackle or change things and give my life direction. Overall, there are many different factors: personality, physicality, social behavior, as well as dreams and goals that define me as a person. A call to explore and accept your true identity. We grappled with the question of who we really are and how we can find our true identity. It is important to understand that every person is unique and has their own identity. So if you ask yourself, who am I really? Or simply want to find an answer to this question, then take time for self-discovery. Accept your mistakes and learn from them. Because only by exploring your true identity can you live a fulfilling life and be authentic. The call to explore your true identity is therefore not only important, but essential to your personal growth. Find out who you really are and accept it, because that's what ultimately makes the difference. Thank you very much for being here, and good luck with your search.